Hi, welcome to Balance Act. My name is Juan Rivera, and I'm here to talk about today metaphysical versus practical, which is what this channel is going to be completely about. So, the metaphysical to me represents all that you can't see. This may be something for someone who's more practical minded, even if you're not, even if you're more agnostic, so to speak. This represents to you something that's not real, something that's imaginary, something that's what they call woo-woo, new age religion, that sort of thing. Practical to me is more like like a modern day stoicism, where you basically take something that you want and you go towards that thing that you want, regardless how difficult the path is. Some examples of that would be, I would say, Joe Rogan, on his philosophy towards fitness and also success. Also, David Goggins, who's a very extreme example of that, but he's also a great example of, I would say, was modern day stoicism. As far as the metaphysical side, there's plenty of examples there. Everything from Jay Shetty to Gabby Bernstein, right up to I would say, on the left extreme of that, which would be Esther Abraham Hicks, who believes she's actually channeling infinite being, who's supposed to be a cadre of infinite beings, who she refers to as Abraham, who apparently is giving her, she was talking through her, giving us pretty great advice, actually. So the difference between the two, honestly, in my opinion, is that they're two different roads going to the same exact place. So the two different roads going to the same exact place. And where is this place? This place is well-being. It's success, yes, but not success for the sake of success. As you know, success does not lead to happiness. It is happiness, it is success, but it's something more than that. It is well-being. It's feeling the way that you want to feel, is what it is. That's what it is. Speaking of Abraham Hicks, she has a saying that I think really culminates all of what we're here on earth to do and all our journey is. Everything we want it because we believe we'll feel better in the having of it. So you can manifest that feeling within yourself now. It's really simple. Just think about the thing you want. Think about the thing you want. Imagine yourself there. And you will actually feel the way it would be to actually have that thing. There's a pretty common, I'm sure many of you probably have even heard of it, anyone who's listening. It's a pretty common example of what I'm talking about. Imagine a lemon. You see the lemon? Okay. Imagine a lemon. And imagine that you're cutting into the lemon. Imagine it. Imagine the smell of it. Okay? You're cutting into the lemon. You see the spray. Maybe you can feel the spray of the lemon hitting your hands. Okay? Pick up the lemon. Imagine yourself picking up the lemon. Imagine look at the lemon. Imagine the smell of the lemon, the look of the lemon, the juices coming off of it. Now imagine taking that lemon and biting into it. Not only can you kind of sort of taste the lemon as you do that, the sourness that you imagine, your salivary glands, you will find, started to activate. This is a manifestation that came through thought. So basically, thoughts turn into things, okay? That's both metaphysical and practical. If you think about, on the practical side of things, scientists have discovered that when you go to the quantum field, if you study particles on the quantum field, they actually change how they are acting, whether you observe them or you don't observe them. So if you're running this experiment and you are observing objects on the quantum field, as soon as you turn your back on them and you stop looking at them, they immediately start reacting in a different way versus when you look back at them. And in such a way where it's almost like an on-off switch. So if you could imagine, these particles are moving in a way that you would expect them to move, maybe like in a straight line. But you're shooting these particles. I think the experiment was a scientist was shooting the particles through a foil of gold, and just to see, what would happen. I'm not sure what the exact experiment was, but he was shooting these particles through a sheet of gold, and they were reacting the way that he expected them to react when he physically observed them. But when he turned his back on them, the machinery that was observing them, when he stopped observing the particles started reacting in a very weird, erratic way. And it did it like immediately. So you can imagine if you're looking at a balloon and you look at it as blue, right? And as soon as you turn your back on it, it turns red and there's two balloons, right? Imagine that shit. So you turn your back and it's like, so you're looking at it, it's one balloon and it's blue. You turn your back and it's two balloons and they're red. And you look at it, one balloon blue. Look away from it, two balloons and it's red. That's how these particles are reacting. And this is real. This is science. This is something that was measured, okay? So that's the practical side of it. Thoughts turn into things. You observe, you look at this object, it reacts one way. You turn away from it, it reacts another way, okay? You can apply that practically in your life in the sense of, if you start to think about something in a certain way, it will manifest in that way, okay? So there's this idea of excuse me for a second. I always have a problem with the saying. Self-enacting, not self-enacting, self-fulfilling prophecy. There's this idea of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So there was an example in this book written by Oprah Winfrey, and also I think it was a scientist that wrote it with her. And I believe the name of the book is What Happened to You. So there's this chapter, and she's describing this young girl. Her and the doctor describing this young girl. And she's abused at home. And she goes to a kindergarten class. She's very loving. She was a very loving teacher. And so the teacher, she always greets her children that come to the class with a hug and a smile. So she, hugs them, she smiles at them. And then this one girl comes in. It's the first day of class, right? So she's greeting all these new kids, including this girl who's abused at home, right? So she invites them all in. And then, as she invites them all in, she hugs two of them, right? Three of them. And gets to the little girl, and the little girl flinches like this. And so she decides not to hug us. Oh, she must not want to be hugged. So no, I like to be touched. She doesn't. But the little girl is thinking this. There's proof of how I feel. Nobody loves me. Because she feels that nobody loves me because she's abused at home. She has this feeling, nobody loves me. So she physically reacts because it's what she's thinking. And his teacher doesn't hug her. So it reinforces her belief that nobody loves me. So that's how this idea of thoughts turning to things works on the practical side of things. Now, the metaphysical side of things is pretty much the same thing, except that it does cause for a leap of faith, so to speak, a suspension of disbelief. So on the metaphysical side of things, the idea of thoughts turning into things is this idea that we're all vibration, right? So, which does have proof in science, but it's more theory. It's like you take the idea of string theory, actually talks about the same exact thing. We're all made out of vibration, vibrating strings that create reality, right? So metaphysical takes it to a point where it's saying, no, that's true. No, we are just that, right? So you think a thought, and it makes you feel a certain way on the inside. So your inner world now starts to affect your outer world because it's the idea of the law of attraction, something else Abraham Hicks teaches. So within the law of attraction, you start then attracting things, people, and experiences to you that match how you feel on the inside. So you feel like shit all the time on the inside, your life around you is probably pretty shitty, right? You start attracting shitty people, and things you have resistance towards. So let's say you're broke, you want to make a lot of money, right? Like in my situation, you're broke, you want to make a lot of money, right? And so that you're always thinking negatively about money. Oh, I can't pay my bills. Oh, I can't afford to go to that restaurant. I want to go hang out with my friends, but I can't afford to. Oh, I want to buy a PlayStation 5. I can't buy a PlayStation 5. All that, right? And then you just stay broke. You find yourself staying broke and getting more frustrated. And so then you're like, man, I can't find a good job. These people won't hire me because I'm black. I can't fucking find a good job. Fuck this shit. Or the economy sucks. And then it's like, you stay broke. You might find yourself getting more broke. Living in a shitty apartment, being around shittier people, getting fired from your job, getting your car repossessed. And you're like, what the fuck's happening? It's a spiral downwards. So on the metaphysical side, they will say that that's really your doing. You created this reality for yourself because of how you feel. And you have a lot of resistance towards a subject called money. So everything else in your life could be going great. You could be healthy. You have no problem with health. You know, your body's great. You know, you look great. You know, you're 50, but you look like you're 30. And, you know, that's going great. You know, you may have a great relationship. Maybe you have a beautiful wife or whatever, but you're broke as fuck because you have resistance in that area in your life. And everything else, you have no resistance. Everything's flowing fine. You have no problems, you know, forming relationships. Things going great at your church. You know, you don't even think about that shit. This is normal. But this thing you put on the pedestal is money. Never comes because you're so frustrated, and that frustration allows it never to come. So both things got solutions to this on either side. So on the metaphysical side, the solution is very simple. Change the way you feel on the inside. It's not actually that easy, right? So they tell you to meditate, maybe do yoga, you know, go to therapy, whatever you need to do to feel good on the inside, start to do it. Don't take action and don't do anything until you feel good on the inside. And feeling good on the inside will attract better things towards you and will inspire you to do the things that you need to do in order to get better. And it should feel great, it should feel easy. That's the metaphysical side of things. Now, on the practical side of things, it's a little different. Okay, it's a little different. All right. So on the practical side of things, they're actually going to ask you to do this. On the practical side of things, they're going to say, you see the problem. Now you see the problem, see the solution. Now within seeing the solution, now plan your life around resolving this issue. So they ask you to do something a little bit opposite here. Instead of saying, like how the law of attraction will tell you, don't focus on the problem, focus on something else, allow that resistance to fall away, feel good on the inside, and things will start to happen for you. It may seem like magic or some shit, right? Practical side says, none of that exists, none of that's bullshit, right? And then you're going to see what the problem is in your life. You're broke, right? Okay, now let's make a plan. Let's make a plan for you not to be broke. What are the reasons why you're broke? You're lazy. Okay, you're lazy. So now you're going to stop being lazy. Now you're going to job search. So then you wake up in the morning, you make this plan. So Monday through Friday, you job search in the morning between 5 and 7 before you got to drive to your shit job. Where you make no money. So you wake up at 5 a.m. and you're like, fuck this, go back to sleep. So now it's like a matter of discipline, right? This is the practical way of doing things. Now you got to, no matter how you feel, there's a difference here between the metaphysical side. No matter how you feel, you're going to get up and you're going to do this thing. You're going to job search. It's plain and simple. And you're going to do it over and over again. You're just going to feel like shit. You're going to fail at it. You're not going to find a job. You're going to get 100 no's, but you're going to learn. You're not going to give up. And you're going to keep going. And you might start reading stuff, listening to podcasts, talking to people, going to job fairs, whatever. But you're going to find it. And you're going to go through it no matter how you feel. So this is a very painful approach, right? But it's also a very effective approach. So you're getting up, you're dragging yourself out of bed, and you're going to do the thing. You do the thing enough times, now you're practicing. Now you're practicing job searching, right? And you're going to get better at it. And you are going to find a better job eventually, as long as you don't quit. As long as you're willing to try new and different things too. So I believe, and the point of this channel is that the truth is in the middle of these things. So what's the middle of these things? So let's look at the extremes. Let's look at David Goggins and let's look at Esther Abraham Hicks. So, and the advice that they give you. So now if you look at Esther, she would tell you, don't do anything. Don't focus on a problem. Focus on a solution. See yourself maybe living in that world, right? And feel really good on the inside. And once you start feeling really good on the inside, then start to take action or be inspired action from what she calls a bigger part of you, which is your spirit or the part of you that's still in heaven or still in the non-physical. That part of you will start to tell you, like your guardian angel or whatever, will start to tell you, God, will start to tell you what to do. You'll get like little inspirations, or you'll maybe a little voice inside be like, go down to the park and talk to this person. And you'd be like, why? I don't do that shit. But then, if you listen to that voice, you have no resistance. The idea is you're going to talk to this person, going to feel good, and it's going to start to lead to a situation that gives you the job you need so you make the money that you really want to make. And then even beyond that, beyond your wildest dreams. Because the idea for the metaphysical side of things is as soon as you want it, you ask for it, it's already been created. Now it's just for you to align yourself with a good feeling towards that thing you want in order for it to start to manifest itself in your life. And it'll manifest itself in your life by you following what's called inspired action. Okay? Now, if you look at David Goggins, what he'll say is, fuck that! Get the fuck up! And smack you across the face and tell you, go in your mirror, write down your mirror, you're a broke piece of shit. I want you to look at that shit every fucking morning. I want you to get up, I want you to look at that shit. I want you to look at it and realize you're a broke motherfucker. Now, what are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what you're going to do about it. You're going to wake up at 5 a.m. and you're going to job search every day, and there is no excuse, there is no days off, there's no cheating. That's what you're going to do, motherfucker. Okay, so that's David Goggins, right? So that's his approach. Basically, do it regardless to how you feel, all right? So the truth is somewhere, I think, in the middle of both of these things. So I think the idea, what she calls pre-paving or getting in front of it, is what she's talking about, Esther Abraham Hicks, is basically getting yourself mentally ready to do what you got to do. You are broke. That's the reality. You're not making enough money to pay your bills. You're not making enough money to be happy, right? So what are you going to do? Well, I think it is a really good idea to get ahead of it. Now, you can do that through meditation. You can do it to talk about it, to therapy, or whatever you want to do, right? You know, whatever you want to do. Maybe smoke some weed, you know, whatever it is, right? I think it's a good idea to get yourself mentally set to do what you need to do. And you might do it the night before, you might do it the morning of. They said wake up at 5 a.m., you get up at 4:30 a.m., you meditate, you just make yourself start to feel good. You should start to visualize it, like a vision board, so to speak. Start to visualize yourself as having money. See it, and believe that it's possible that you can do it. Now, from the practical side of things, I believe in discipline. I believe you do need to be disciplined in this. Like, you need to set that time. You need a plan. I believe in the plan. I don't think you need to stick to the plan like it's written in stone. The plan can definitely be liquid. You know, it can definitely change. You know, you can also be open to unexpected opportunities. That's, I think, is also a very important thing. But I think there needs to be a plan. And yeah, wake up Monday through Friday at 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. to meditate a little bit and work on something between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. to when you got to start getting ready to go out to work or whatever it is, you know, or you do it late at night when you come home from work. But you stick to the plan, and yes, you are not always going to want to do it, especially at first. That's when discipline comes in. That sometimes you do got to get up, even though you don't feel like it. Even if you did all the pre-paving work you could have done, all the writing, or the journaling, or the meditating, you could have done yoga, hot yoga for 3 hours, whatever. Had the greatest sex and drank the greatest drinks and smoked the best weed the night before and woke up the next morning feeling great. And then 4:30 hits, and you're like, I need to go sleep, back to sleep now. You know, law of attraction, I want to keep feeling good. You know, no, nigga, get up. Time to get up, time to get in front of your computer, and it's time to job search. And that's what it is. And some mornings, you're not going to feel like it, no matter how much pre-paving you did. And that's when the practical side comes in. Sometimes you just got to get your ass out of bed. And that's discipline. So I think there's 2 lessons to be learned here. Number 1, do get out ahead of it. Imagine yourself in this, whatever works for you. A vision board. Imagine yourself there. I used to do something called an attraction box. You know, it's a method from the law of attraction, but I think that's very practical, good use. Psychologically speaking, you're psychologically tricking yourself into believing you have what you are trying to go for, right? And you imagine yourself how good that feels. So it acts as a motivational tool, right? And also, when you start doing the thing the next morning, you feel better about it. Because you're not focusing on, I'm tired, I don't want to be up, or I don't even know if this is going to lead. You're not questioning yourself, I don't even know if this is going to lead to anything, am I even doing the right thing? Maybe I shouldn't even try to do this kind of job anymore. I don't think nobody wants to hire me, blah, 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 for whatever reason, this reason, that reason. You're not thinking about any of that. All you're thinking about is, I can't wait to be fucking rich so I can travel, so I can go to Egypt, see the pyramids, so I can pay all my bills in one quick, swift move. I can't wait for that shit. Let's get up now and let's go. Let's do it. So now you got yourself psychologically ready. It's like stretching, basically, before you go out for a big, long run. You got yourself psychologically ready. And now you get up and you get to do the thing that you planned on doing. This comes from the practical side of things. You plan on doing this thing. You're going to do this thing now, and that's it. Right? Right. So now, that's your up. And you're sitting down in front of your computer and you're doing the thing. That's when the discipline comes in. Because now you got to sit there for an hour and do it. Because you might get 30 minutes in feeling great. 30 minutes in, you're like, I'm fucking tired. I gotta start getting ready for work. It's gonna be a long day. I gotta pick up the kids after work today. Oh, maybe we should just go sleep for a little bit longer. Oh man, the coffee's just not hitting me to this morning as I thought. Sit your ass down, finish job searching like you planned. That's the practical side of things. So I believe that the practical or the stoic side of things versus the metaphysical or the woo side of things. I think the two different roads lead you to the same place. Now, you can find one road to the T or another road to the T, but I think the truth is really in the middle of the two roads. And I think that's your path. I think that's how you find what works for you, because each individual is different, and each individual has a different path to walk on towards their own well-being and their own true self. Thank you for joining me. This is Balanced Act. My name is Juan Rivera. Have a beautiful day. I love you.